Good morning, everyone. Welcome back. Give me just a moment. Welcome back to the Pitch Straight here on YouTube and on Twitch. Thank you so much for tuning in for what is a fairly last minute live stream. If you saw on the channel, if you actually go over there and look now, you'll see I'm going to do a live recording of Formula 2 flying lap. But then I thought, oh man, I forgot the Madrid E-Prix is on right now. So instead, I pivoted and we're going to do this real quick. So I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a lot of fun. Hope you're looking forward to it as well. And Nick Cassidy is on pole here in Madrid. The race is about to start. They are on a permanent circuit. I believe they have tested here before. As the cars are about to do their burnouts to their spots on the grid. They don't do a full formation lap. They just do a burnout. And they're about to do so. Two red lights on in Madrid. And there's Nick Cassidy on pole with Nick DeVries in second, Antonio Felix da Costa in third, Norman Nato in fourth, Eduardo Mortaro fifth, Pascal Verline sixth, Gunther Martinez Gunther seventh, Oliver Rowland eighth, Dan Ticktum ninth, Zane Maloney 10th, Jake Dennis 11th, Pepe Marti 12th, Nico Bowler 13th, Sebastian Wilmy 14th, Taylor Barnard 15th, Mitch Evans 16th, Erickson 17th, John Eric Verne 18th, Lucas DeGrassi 19th, and Felipe Drugovich in 20th. Here at the Circuito del Jarama circuit in Madrid. I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited to be back here on the Pitch Straight doing a watch along with you again. This was a fairly last minute stream. Right after this, around 11:30 Eastern, I'm going to be recording Formula 2 flying laps here on the channel, so stay tuned for that as well. Also, be sure to comment where in the world you're watching from as we do this watch along here. And hopefully, my wife and I's cats won't get in the way. But here we are, waiting for the 5 red lights. You see the smoke fading from the burnouts. Still sitting on the grid. Race number 154 for Formula E. And excuse me as I open up not sponsored Cherry Dr. Pepper. Green flag waves at the back. Should be seeing the 5 red lights at any moment here in Madrid. No movement yet. All right, green lights are off. Waiting on those lights. And it's 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we're off in Madrid for the Madrid E-Prix in 2026. Great start there from your pole sitter, Nick Cassidy. As DeVries loses some sponsors, a car on the outside there. 23 lap race. As Cassidy with a great start, DeVries moving forward. As we're looking back from Nick Cassidy. And here they go into the tight hairpin of 5, I believe, as they go uphill. They were talking, Karun Chandok was talking about this turn before the race to go uphill. Wow. I haven't seen the circuit yet. Kind of reminds me of Portimao a little bit as they go into the next turn. Cassidy still holding lead over DaCosta. Looks like attack mode. You can see its activation point again. You have to use 8 minutes of attack mode. You could do it in a 2-minute, 6-minute blast, 2 fours, or a 6-minute, then a 2, but you have to use all 8. And they're about to finish up their first lap here as we were on board with Tictum in 5th place. Looks like there may be some water on the track. Drivers did have, yep, the track is a little bit damp. I'm not going to say it's full wet. If this was Formula One, they might be trying to find intermediates here, but of course in Formula E they do use they don't have slicks or intermediates. They just use the same threaded tires there on the front straight for the first time. Got a car already coming to pit road, maybe a broken front wing. And of course, they have a chicane on the front stretch here. Formula E loves their chicanes, especially at circuits like these. But here we go. Lap one is complete. Your top 10, as it is, Zane Maloney coming into the pits. And he will fall to the back. Top four, Cassidy, DeVries, DaCosta, and Verline in the Porsche. And coming around lap number two, Verline is making moves on the outside. Great ear from Tictum. And you're just telling him get in drive mode two as Verline is making his way up. He's in second place again. Has not started attack mode yet. Nobody has taken it. It is only lap two, so this is fairly early. But Cassidy in the Citroen Verline race control Maloney drive through penalty for a technical infraction. So that's what it was. He had to drive through there. Attack mode is in a very interesting place on this circuit. It's normally on a hairpin, but in this case it's not. It's actually on the outside of a corner. Of a fairly fast corner, it looks like as well. And yeah, we're still seeing spray. We're looking on board from the nose of Dan Tictum. And at this moment, of course, our cats have the zoomies as we have Roland and Norman Nato finding in the Nissans. Got Porsche up front in third place as they're setting up for this chicane. This is a nice circuit. I would love to see more races at this. This is actually a really good track. It's cool. And then we're looking at a replay from the Mahindra of Nick DeVries. See what happened to him on the start as ooh, he lost his front wing. Big damage for DeVries. He's going to have to make a pit stop. Surely the front wing is off, so he shouldn't be getting a flag for that. But yeah, he ran into the back of Verline there, but he's still able to hold his own even with no front wing. The downforces seem to be affected too much. If this was Formula One, yeah, he'd be in the pits already, but he's hanging on to the back of his Mahindra teammate there. As Dan Ticktum's in second, we're looking at a replay of the start. See how DeVries, and we do still see a lot of it. Let's see how DeVries lost his position. It just didn't get a good start on the outside. And we're seeing on that hairpin, looks like a Nissan on the outside there of Norman Nato. Yeah, just didn't get the turn in. Didn't get the brakes in as well. And just loses out on some spots. But looking at the actual race, again, Tictum going a little bit of NASCAR, bringing the bump draft to Cassidy. I like the way that the Citroens look this weekend with the blue wheel in the back. That's actually a really cool livery. And here they come into the chicane for the third time. Let's see if Tictum makes a move. He doesn't, but Verline on the inside claims second place from Dan Tictum. It is now Cassidy, Verline, and Tictum as we get the first look at the battery percentages. Cassidy is at 85.6, Verline at 85.8, Tictum at 86. I don't believe their pit boost is active this weekend because this is not a doubleheader race weekend, so it will just be both. Seems here as Verline's looking to make a move there, but instead he stays in second. Here comes Tictum though with the move. We saw him move in the back for fifth or sixth place. And Tictum and Verline still fighting here. And it stays with Tictum in second. Verline got passed by Dan Tictum. Let's come Tictum radio. He reports happy in this position and be efficient. Already asking him to save some battery here. As they come, great camera angle of this sequence of corners as they go into the hairpin. Everybody within 4 or 5 car lengths of each other as Tictum looking to make a move, trying to set up Nick Cassidy in the Citroen. And it stays Cassidy in the lead as they come back around and they hit the chicane. and are about to begin lap 5. I apologize if you hear a lot of scrambling in the background again. My wife and I have two cats, and they are going crazy right now. And I don't believe has DeVries. I'm assuming DeVries is losing positions. He should have pitted, but I haven't seen a shot of DeVries in a minute, so I don't know if he still has his front wing off. I'm assuming with him being in 11th, he hasn't stopped yet. But surely now that he's out of the points, he's got to be looking at making a pit stop here. We're looking at Cassidy, Verline, Tictum, Mortara, DaCosta, your top 5. Gunther, Dennis, Nato, Roland, and Vern, your top 10. 11 to 15 at the moment, DeVries, Barnard, Wemme, Mueller, Marty, and your final 5, Erickson, Drugovich, Evans, DeGrassi, and Maloney. As Cassidy still holds the lead with Verline and Tictum. Right behind, on board with Pascal Verline. Drugovich has taken attack mode. The first driver to take attack mode, he has taken 6 minutes. And if you're new to Formula E, uh, I forget the exact number, so I'm just going to use, I believe they have 450 kilowatts of power, so just equate that to horsepower. I know it's not exact, but it's close enough. I believe they have like 300 kilowatts, 350 kilowatts of power and two-wheel drive. But when they get into attack mode, they then go up to 550 kilowatts of power and four-wheel drive. So that means we should be seeing Drugovich in these next 6 minutes, moving his way up the field. We're on board with Olivier Roland, or Oliver Roland, excuse me, in 8th place. He is behind Jake Dennis in the Andretti, who's behind Gunther. And we should be seeing full-on energy reveals here at any moment, as all the cars are within 5 car lengths of the next one in front of them. Was looking at Felipe Drugovich moving up. He was in 17th when he activated attack mode. He's now up to 14th. Now he's in 13th. He's looking to make a move on Taylor Barnard in 12th. It's Cassidy still holding the lead over Verline and Tictum. And at the moment, it is all Citroen up front. And we have the Andretti of Drugovich, so we have a drone shot here of the Spanish countryside in Madrid as we see attack mode. Whiz by on the drone. Drugovich now up to 11th, about to be into the points. And energy, here comes the energy reveals at the end of lap number 6. Cassidy's at 74, Verline at 75, Oliver Rowland at 76, and you have Evans, DeGrassi, and Maloney at 77%. So they're all within 3 or 4% of each other. And again, there are extra laps if there is a safety car. We could see extra laps being added on. Think of it as extra times in football, as we have 3 wide getting squeezed in the back. That was close contact with the wall. I believe he got through with it. Drive-through penalty for Roland. Overpowered during start procedure. So drive-through penalty for Oliver Roland in 10th place. That'll certainly bring him out of the points. But with attack mode, with that extra power that you get as Drogovic, still the only driver with it. And another 5-second time penalty for DeVries, causing a collision with Verline at turn 10. So he did get a penalty. 5-second time penalty to be added at the end of the race. Again, no mandatory pit stops in Formula E in this race. They will just race their energy out as Drugovich has 3 minutes left on his attack mode. Started his attack mode in 17th and is now up to 6th. So making great moves there is Drugovich. And Google Gemini is reporting that Nick Cassidy has used more energy than most rivals, making a huge drop in position, likely to conserve power. That is an interesting thing with Formula E coverage is you do have AI in the form of Google Gemini bringing stats to you as they happen, as we're on board with Drugovich. Now in the Andretti again, he was in 17th as Eduardo Mortara. No, excuse me. I believe that is Pepe Marti has started his 6 minutes of attack mode. So both of these drivers have used 6 minutes of attack mode, so that means they have two left. Speaking of two left, Drugovich is at the 2 minute mark as the race is a third of the way done. We see Drugovich fast. He got a purple lap there, fastest lap for Felipe Drugovich. And we see good battles there as Drugovich moves in front of Tictum. And we're looking at the drive-through penalty for Roland. Maloney is 33 seconds back, so we might be seeing a fight between those two here in a moment as Roland is now exiting the pits as Drugovich on the outside using his four-wheel versus two-wheel drive. Drugovich with the lead. First lead change of the race since the start, and Drugovich with 1 minute and 15 left to go on his attack mode has the lead, and Drugovich radio just telling him good job, and nobody taking attack mode that lap. Pepe Marti, who again I believe was in that 16th, 17th, 15th range when he took his, is now on the attack mode. He has 4 minutes left of it. This is a big gamble to pay because nobody else has used attack mode outside of these two drivers. And not only that, they use 6 minutes of it. They've only got 2 minutes left. And unlike previous seasons where you had to use all of your minutes of attack mode before the end of the race, all you have to do in Formula E now is you have to start your final minute allotment of whatever allotment you have of attack mode. You have to start that before the end of the race. You don't have to use it all before the end, but you definitely have to start it or start that last one. Oh, there is pit boost this week. So I apologize for that. I thought it was normally on double header weekends, but it is not. There is pit boost at the moment. So we should be seeing cars coming in. And right at the moment, it is Drugovich still in the lead, Cassidy in second, Verline third, Tictum fourth, and DaCosta, your top five. Sorry, let's just making sure everything's going good on stream as well as we're doing this. And it is still Drugovich, Cassidy, Verline, Drugovich, Cassidy, Tictum, Verline, DaCosta. Your top five right now, but that is changing as Marty is in attack mode. We also have attack mode in the back with Degrassi. He took 6 minutes as well. So it is Pepe Marty with 2 minutes, DaCosta with 5.5. Bills from the E-Car, he's making the move on a Citroen there. Wow, that was aggressive. One way to put it. As we're looking at the Citroen of John Eric Verne, I believe that's who the move was on, but that was an aggressive move. Gemini is saying that 14 drivers are predicted to take their stop on this lap. So let's see if they do so. And no drivers are taking attack mode, but we should see good amount here, possibly taking the pit boost. So we'll see if they do so. And Google Gemini was predicting for 14 drivers to do so. We'll see if they do. And so far, I don't believe anyone's entered the pits yet. And it is still no one is. There are some drivers saying pit boost is available, but nobody's taking it quite yet. Saying that they should have moved earlier. Marty still is in the lead with Tictum in second as we're updating the graphic for all the pit boost. And currently, the only ones we're not sure of are Evans, Rowland, and Maloney. But they should be not have taken pit boost yet. And the only driver on attack mode at the moment is Degrassi. And we are looking at the Mahindra team. Let's see who takes their pit boost here. Sorry, just double checking audio. As we are almost halfway through this one. Sorry, here we go. Here comes some drivers coming in. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll let you know who they are in the moment. So we have the Porsche. So got a lot of drivers coming in. And right now, going up to down, DaCosta, Verline, Gunther, Wemme, DeVries, Eric Verne, John Eric Verne, all in, taking their mandatory pit boost. Degrassi still in attack mode. Yes, so DaCosta, Verline, Gunther, Wemme, DeVries, Eric Verne are all in, taking their pit boost. Which I really hope that pit boost becomes the norm in Formula E. I really hope that because I love having the element of a pit stop in a race. Which again, if you watch Formula E from the beginning, and I did watch the first race in China, I believe it was in Beijing. At the start of Formula E, they had two cars for each driver that they brought. So it's cool to see the technology. I'll admit, I fell out of Formula E for a little bit, but like thinking about this is the beginnings of a new technology in electric motors and being a part and watching the growth of Formula E as Verline trying to get out in front. It's like he's gonna actually have to fall in behind. But again, just watching a series, thinking back to it, like, yeah, this is the beginning of an electric motor. We got a great view there from the camera. I believe that's a drone, beautiful drone shot there as the number 21 Mahindra is in. And we'll see who comes in on this lap. Six or seven drivers came in. No one quite yet. All right, you have drivers moving in seventh and eighth. In the back there, looks like NATO is one and Drugovic another. So two cars coming in this lap at the moment, but no one else has quite come in yet. As we're looking at the front, Degrassi with 12 seconds left to go. Gunther takes his first 6 minutes. So everyone's done 6 minutes so far. No one's done a different attack mode strategy. And it is currently Drugovic and NATO in the pits taking their pit boost. So again, they're just recharging the battery for at least 30 seconds. As it is Drugovic and NATO and Nick Cassidy radio. Checked him. I hope he has my radio, but him and Martin need to raise the pace now. I'm okay to stay behind him, but he's got to raise the pace. So Cassidy complaining about the pace of the race at the moment as pit boost leader DaCosta has actually jumped NATO and Drugovic, which I guess they fell in about where they were in the actual running order before the pit boost. I do love the Formula E, the graphic Formula E has where they show you where the pit boost leader is and where the lead of the race after pit boost is. That's actually a really cool touch that they do. If you're looking at Degrassi, who has definitely picked that pace up at the front, and we'll see if there are any takers for pit boost this lap, as I believe we're looking at DaCosta I could be wrong though, as there are some more pit boosts. Degrassi is in. Tictum, Degrassi and Dan Tictum are in on another car in the pits. Barnard and Mortara are all in the pits. Roland and Maloney have elected to stay out. And Google Gemini is predicting Drugovich should take attack mode this lap. We'll see. Barnard is in pit boost. Marty with 38% battery left to go. And Degrassi's done. Tictum done. Mortara and Barnard. Barnard is about halfway through. Mortara is done. We'll see where they've come out. Gunther with 340 left to go on attack mode. Uh, Purple lap, fastest lap of the race. Barnard still in the pits. Right now, DaCosta is leading the pit boost race at the moment. Again, they might try to push a little bit more if they are on pit boost or have done their pit boost because they have more energy than the cars ahead of them who haven't stopped. And the cars who haven't stopped are Pepe Marty, Nick Cassidy, Jake Dennis, Nico Muller, Erickson, Mitch Evans, Oliver Rowland, and Zane Maloney. Okay, here they come. Everyone comes in except for one. Wait to see on who that one is, as Marty is in. There may have been Erickson or Maloney who elected to stay out. But at the moment, I believe everybody else came in. Mitch Evans is stayed out. And 10-second time penalty for Barnard for that move earlier, forcing a driver off the track. So at the moment, Marty, Cassidy, Dennis, Mueller, Erickson, all in. Gunther, 2.5 minutes on attack mode. No one else is really taking attack mode yet. Roland, Maloney, and Evans still need to take pit boost. As DaCosta is coming onto the main straightaway, as there is another driver coming in. That may be Maloney coming into and to take pit boost. I'm interested to see where Evans is compared to the front of the pit boost, as Marty just flies by those drivers. So at the moment, an earlier pit boost may have been the right strategy because these guys are now way in the back of the pack. Maloney is in. Maloney, of course, I believe had a drive through earlier. As we are looking at Evans, Evans is entering the final hairpin going onto the main straightaway. As it is still Gunther 1.5 left to go on his attack mode on lap 15 of 23. Would expect to see Evans and Roland coming in on this lap. Yep, Evans looks like he is missing the chicanes. Looks like he is taking his stop. Roland, most likely, we don't know what the gap might be, electing to stay out. Google Gemini is predicting Evans will move to 11th, which is, I believe, a couple positions behind where he started, but he's now in, charger plugged in, and he is charging his car. Roland is still out, and we do have Nico Muller taking 6 minutes. Everyone has taken 6 minutes so far in their first uh, attack mode. As Evans is still charging, as charging into the chicane are DaCosta and Gunther. Gunther looking to take the lead, but again, I'm ready to see what the attack mode looks like at the moment because they have been focusing on pit boost. Roland is finally in. Roland is going to be way in the back of the field now. And Roland is falling down to 16th. I believe he had a drive through as well, as we're looking at last 10 seconds of Gunther's attack mode. DaCosta right behind, Verline in third, Buemi in fourth. Dan Tictum rounds out the top 5. Still waiting on Roland to finish. They may also be letting him up there, just going to let him go. He's down in 19th. Nico Muller, still the only driver on attack mode with 4.5 left to go. I'm surprised everyone's doing the 6 minutes first, looking at attack mode. Again, a really interesting placement because that's not really a penalty to take it. I'm surprised they didn't do it in one of the hairpins. But I guess with it being on the outside right before the main straight, We're in the lead up to the main straight, as we do have Nick Cassidy taking his first six. So right now, in the top 10, you have DaCosta, Verline, Buemi, Tictum, Evans, and NATO, and it's all 6 minutes. All 6 minute attack mode. So there is no 8 minute attack mode. This is just straight up 6 minutes. So everyone's taking it once. And looking at the live drivers championship, Verline is still in the lead at the moment with the current points payout. And Nick Cassidy's asking how many drivers have done attack mode around him. He's told 3 cars. And Cassidy knows that that's a bad deal, Derek. I didn't realize that it was just one 6 minute attack mode this race. Sometimes Formula E changes regulations, so I apologize for not looking at it before starting this. But yeah, wow. So just one 6 minute. I guess it's because it's a permanent circuit. I'm not really sure on the reasoning, but I can see why everyone is waiting as late as possible now. As we're on lap 17 of 23, your podium at the moment: Antonio Felix, DaCosta, Maximilian Gunther, and Pascal Verline. In the top three, as attack mode goes, Sebastian Buemi. And on the outside, trying to get a move done. Does he do it? Not quite. And on the inside, looking to make a move. So we're about to hit the final 6 laps here in Madrid. And also, just a reminder, after this, I am going to be streaming once again, this time in off my laptop. Has 5 second penalty for Barnard. Well, I guess for forcing another driver off the track. But I will be doing a live recording of the flying lap for Formula 2. And I just want to say this now, and I'll say it again on that stream. As actually, I'll wait till the end of Sebastian Buemi radio. They're just saying to be smart with the attack mode. He's 2.5 behind the leader. Currently in attack mode, Buemi, Muller with 2 minutes, Buemi with 5, Cassidy with 3.5, NATO with 5. Only drivers in attack mode at the moment. But there will be Formula One flying laps, and NASCAR will resume as well. Might stream catching up with that soon as well. But the reason I haven't done the reason Formula One hasn't gone up and it won't go up for a while is I was originally thinking, just use the 2025 cars in F125 and still do the tracks as Women Radio. Women saying yes, no more energy. And looks like we have DaCosta coming in for his attack mode. Waiting to see who else came in for it as well. If that was DaCosta and Verline. So your top 12, out of the top 12, 10 have it. DaCosta just activated it. Buemi with 4 minutes. Muller with 1 minute left. Verline just activated. Cassidy 2.5. Tictum just activated. Mortara just activated. Evans just activated. NATO with 4. Dennis with 5.5. But anyway, going back to that real quick. I was thinking about, let's just use the 2025 cars for Formula One on the circuits, because it is about the cars, but it's also just as equally about the track. Through watching the Australian Grand Prix, I was like, you know what? Yeah, the way the cars are driven are so different than the last set of regulations that yeah, I'm gonna wait until the F126 season DLC comes out for F125 and those cars are ready, and then I'm just gonna record them all as quick as I can and upload the races that have finished up to that point in the season, and then just schedule them out for each race weekend. But NASCAR Flying Lap will return. I'm gonna probably do a live stream recording of that as well. May have commentary, may not, but this Formula 2 one would definitely will have commentary in between, because I do, of course, want the clean recordings throughout. But still at the moment, Antonio Felix DaCosta with 5 to go in the lead over Sebastian Buemi, Porsche teammates Nico Muller and Pascal Verline. You would expect Verline to get past and through Verline fairly soon. And there goes Ericsson's on the inside. 14th, making the move. Sorry, that was Verline making the move on his teammate. as Nico Muller now will be dropping to the back as everyone else around him is on attack mode. Nick Cassidy in the most danger with 50 seconds left as he's about to wrap up. The next closest driver to him is well down in ninth with 2 minutes left to go. And Felix DaCosta in the lead with Buemi and Verline currently wrapping up your podium at the moment. Nick Cassidy with 20 seconds left to go. So he's about to run out. Energy wise, DeVries, Roland, and Maloney way back in 18th, 19th, and 20th are all in the 20s as Maloney takes his attack mode. And I did see someone in the pits, not sure who that was. We're going to see a lot of lifting and coasting to try to make it to the end here. Not sure on the percentage that you need. And Gemini saying that Tictum's one to watch. Tictum currently in fifth with 3.5 laps left to go in this exciting Formula E. I always love watching Formula E. It's an exciting championship, to quote Will Buxton, because he's a championship a lot. Also, I love the speed with Harvick and Buxton show. That's a really great piece of motorsports content there. As they talk about the wild world of motorsport, as right now at the moment, DaCosta with 2.5. His next closest is Verlon with 2.5 as well. They're about 8 seconds off. I believe actually DaCosta should be on the low end. Actually, they looks like they have about the same number. And closest to them after that is Mitch Evans with no, he has 2 minutes. You got to go all the way down to John Eric Verne. He has 4 left to go as they hit this chicane as DaCosta. Verline looking on the outside of DaCosta, not quite making the move. We're in the final few laps, so we're going to see that intensity rise. Buemi has 20 seconds, so we might see a Hail Mary. No added laps for this race, so this race will end on lap 23. That's a good move there for Buemi to soak up the attack behind him, but he's only got 3 seconds left of attack mode. Buemi is now out of attack mode, trying to use the width of the track and the car to try to stop the drivers behind him, but now he will be a sitting duck as everyone around him has 90 seconds at the very least left of attack mode. Nick DeVries and Oliver Rowland in the back and Barnard all in attack mode. And great action here as we look at the drone on the outside. DaCosta still in the lead. Verline versus Tictum. Tictum in second. Drivers coming close together as they go down the hill. Hit the left-hander here. As DaCosta still in the lead with Tictum. In second place, Tictum with 40 seconds of attack mode left. And here comes the move. Mitch Evans looking to the inside of Verline. Verline has lost a couple of positions here on lap 21, lap 22. Pretty much the top 5 are all about to run out of attack mode. They're about to lose the 4-wheel drive and go back to the 2. As it is DaCosta, Tictum, Evans, Verline, all wrapping up attack mode at around the same time. A great 4-way battle to the finish at the moment. So we'll see who takes the victory as we're all looking at battery percentages. DaCosta at 7. Tictum at 6 point. Evans at 7.5. Verline at 6.2. Right now, Verline is in the worst position. We're going to see a lot of lifting and coasting so they can make it the last 2 laps. Tictum radio. Just engineers encouraging him, telling him to keep it solid. And with a lap and a half left to go, And no one is on attack mode in the top 11. The first attack mode with 40 seconds left is Ericsson down in 12th. And 5-second time penalty for pit boost infraction for DeVries. So it's bad just going to worse as we're on the white flag, the final lap of the Madrid E-Prix. DaCosta and Evans teammates as Evans looks to the inside of DaCosta. Tictum radio. Just saying that Evans is 1% up. And Evans and DaCosta in the lead coming out of turn 5. Looks like there's going to be a great battle. We could be seeing a fight to the finish. Everyone still in attack mode is below 15th positions. They're not a factor in this fight, especially on this final lap. As DaCosta in the lead, Evans behind, Tictum in 3rd, Verline in 4th, Eduardo Mortara in 5th at the moment. As we hit the final 2 sectors of this race as they pass the attack mode activation point. DaCosta in the lead over Evans. Evans at 2%. DaCosta at 1. All the drivers are at least at 1%. As we hit the final lap of the race, DaCosta still in the lead over Evans, Tictum, and Verline. Mortara in 5th place. Most likely will not see the podium unless some big accident happens in the chicane, as looks like a block coming in from DaCosta. Tictum in 3rd. Here they come. Down the front stretch for the final time, making the short right kink onto the chicane. Let's see if Evans throws a move on his teammate. And he does. To the outside comes Evans. DaCosta with the block. Tictum on the inside of Evans. And here they come back to the line. Drag race. And it's Antonio Felix DaCosta with the victory. Mitch Evans in 2nd. Verline makes the move on Dan Tictum at the chicane to get 3rd place. Dan Tictum falls to 4th in that final chicane. And Eduardo Mortara finishes in 5th. What a move by Pascal Verline at the chicane. I hope we see a replay of that because he grabbed the podium from Dan Tictum right there at the end. But it is the Jaguar teammates of Antonio Felix DaCosta and Mitch Evans finishing 1-2 for Jaguar. 3rd place, Pascal Verline, as yellow flags fall on the circuit. I'm just assuming that's just an end of race yellow flag. Not sure of any accidents occurring, but it is DaCosta, Evans, Verline, your top 3. So there is smoke. There may have just been a burnout there from DaCosta, as he may be out of energy or just taking it slow on the victory lap for him as everyone else on their cooldown lap. But what an exciting Madrid E-Prix for Formula E. So your standings at the end of the race finishing order. DaCosta, 1st, winner of the Madrid E-Prix. Mitch Evans, 2nd. Pascal Verline rounds out the podium. Dan Tictum in 4th. Eduardo Mortara rounds out the top 5. Sebastian Buemi in 6th. Jake Dennis in 7th. Nico Muller 8th. Pepe Marti 9th. And Ericsson rounds out your top 10 and your points finishers for the Madrid E-Prix. Finishing 11th through 20th in this order. In 11th, Nato. In 12th, Lucas Degrassi. In 13th, Gunther. 14th, Jean-Eric Verne. 15th, Felipe Drugovich. 16th, Oliver Rowland. 17th, Nick Cassidy. 18th, Nick DeVries. And the lineups went away right when I was finishing that. But yeah, that is the Madrid E-Prix. Thank you so much for tuning in here on the Pitch Straight. I enjoyed watching along with you on this race. That was exciting being back in Formula E and watching that race here from Spain. So yeah, the cars are coming to the line, wrapping everything up. And we'll wrap up here too, here on the Pitch Straight. Tyler with you. Thank you so much for tuning in. Of course, we'll be back in today at the very least for more live streaming as we're going to record the flying lap for Formula 2 in just a few minutes, I believe. So go check that out on the Pitch Straight. It'll be here on YouTube, on Twitch. Also, we're going to be streaming on Facebook. So go check us out over there as well. three streaming platforms for you. So thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in. We'll be back here on this channel in just a few moments. That was the Formula E 2026 Madrid E-Prix. Thank you so much, and hope to see you soon here on the internet.